Today, the class is about invisible zipper. Now, there's two kind of zippers. One is a regular zipper, and that zipper may have a plastic teeth. Anything joining the zipper, it's got teeth. So some of them are plastic ones and some of them are metallic. It all depends. Metallic ones are especially for the sturdier kind, like you have a jacket or you have pants. So you always have the metal ones. But for the plastic one, it's always for a delicate one. Like you want a skirt, you don't want that metallic teeth to be shown. Or you have a small pocket, you don't want to show the teeth, So you'll have the plastic one, and mostly the plastic one, it matches the actual fabric. So that's the main difference that when you are planning to use a zipper. But if you want to have a decorative zipper, it's always a metallic because you want it to look fancier. Today, I'll be showing you what differences with the regular zipper and an invisible zipper. Invisible zipper is generally put in formal dresses. It's very delicate. So you have to be very careful. And most of the time, it's not for thick fabrics because the zipper is being delicate. It's got plastic teeth. It tends to break. So most of the time, it's with a delicate fabric and the fabrics which are lined. So with the lining, it works out really good. And the needle you specifically use for this one is size 12. But just like how I said, I like doing everything on 14 because my fabric is cotton, that one I'll be using, because I'm not going to do any lining and make it more complicated for you, because sewing a zipper with lining, it's not so easy to understand. So I'm just going to show you invisible zipper in case you have expensive outfit. I know Savitri's, one of our daughter's outfit, she had come to our hub and we had a little bit repaired it for her. So she had a side zipper. So most of those side zippers with a sari blouse or, with a lehenga choli, they have these kind of zippers. So suppose it breaks off. So at least she will know how to do it. This is my regular zipper that we used on our pouch. And now when you see invisible zipper also has a plastic one, but you can't see the teeth at all because that's what the purpose of invisible zipper is. It needs to hide. They don't want to show. So it's a very delicate kind of a thing. I'll open up and I'll show you the teeth later on. And the main difference is the lock. The zipper, when you are lifting it, opening it up, this is what you are holding it. This actually is much more broader, and this is so delicate and so nice. You see the difference between this one. It's a little bit rounded. It's painted so nicely. It's very delicate. And this one is so rough. It has got the hole on it, and which makes it much more stronger because this is really delicate. Sometimes people, when they're pulling it off, it even tends to break. Now, when I open up my invisible zipper, so when I'm opening it, the teeth roll in. Okay, this is my teeth. The teeth rolls in. In this one, it stays flat. But in this one, I have my teeth like this. And when I bring it, it opens up. It rolls out. When it rolls out, it hides the fabric. So that's why you need a visible zipper foot. And that invisible zipper foot has got hole. So now what I'm going to show you, I don't have a domestic zipper foot. The invisible zipper foot, as the term is different. Okay. So, but I do have it for the industrial sewing machine. You will, if you'll see, it has got a hole in the center. So when you will go in the market, and when you look for a domestic invisible, these kind of things are very expensive. We can use the regular zip for this purpose. It's just that we'll be switching left and right, what we did for the pouch also, that you need to move from left or right as needed. But now I just want to still explain you that you find, suppose for a domestic machine, you find a zipper foot. Now this one has got a hole. The same thing, even the domestic one will have a hole. It's a little bit different because over here, you can see the grooves. So now these grooves are the one that slides over this part, your teeth. So when they are sewing, it travels on the teeth. You see, it's sliding over the groove. So what happens, it slides on the groove and the stitching is happening at the hole. So it's next to the teeth. So you don't have to worry about it. I'm just showing it to you. But in case you get a domestic one, so this one travels, actually this is mirrored, that's why it's difficult with the camera. So see, this one is a groove. So it travels on the groove. And when you are using your regular foot, how you people were sewing, you were sewing like this. You were sewing like this, going next to it. I don't know if you remember when you were sewing, you were going next to it like that. Okay, this will be opening up. You'll be sewing like that. Okay, but for this one, it travels inside this part. It's got grooves. So it travels on the grooves and it stitches on with in the hole the needle travels. So what happens when it travels, you get stitching exactly next to your teeth. So when you have like this, you don't see the zipper at all. See, you can't see the zipper. It's only when I pull it, you see a little bit of the zipper, little bit. But the moment I leave it, it rolls back. So that's why I wanted to show you the difference. And suppose like just like Nina said, she has a broken zipper. So she has to be sure, because just like now, she would understand what the difference is. But suppose you have a zipper broken like that. This is with the lining. It's very complicated. But suppose there's no lining. Try taking out zipper from one side completely and see how it was sewn. You can leave a little bit in the end and then put a new one, open it up, place it exactly like that. Now I'm going to show you doing the demo. Place it like that, stitch one side, take that portion out, finish stitching, then take out the other side and immediately pin it up. This is the right way to do repair of your zipper, whether it's for pants, whether it's for a pouch. Don't take your whole zipper. I can also get confused, because when we get for repairing, I tell them, please don't take out the zipper, because we don't know how it was made in the factory. Did they do it with the lining? Did they do it because there are 3 layers in a winter coat? So I don't know whether the zipper was initially put with the 2 linings or they were put in between 3 of the layers. So it was more complicated for us for repairing also. So the best thing is you to measure your zipper, go in the market, get a thing like that, take one side out, leave a little bit, pin up your actual zipper, the new one that you got, and sew that part. Take out the bottom one a little bit, finish your sewing, then take out your other side and immediately pin it. When you are taking out, take that halfway out, pin half of your zipper and then take out. So at least you're sure. Always stitch, open it up, try zipping it. And if it shows it's good, then continue doing it. That's always playing safe. So now when we do it in industrial sewing, so I have the zipper foot. So, okay, so this is the one. And when for industrial sewing machine, we have left foot for zipper. Okay, we have left foot and we have a right foot like that. So we don't have separate like how you have. For the zippers we use for industrial sewing machine, we have got these 2 foot. You see, like it has got left foot, the groove is there for the needle, okay, and then you have the right foot. So we don't have it like this, okay, how you had for your domestic machine. So now this one we're going to put it aside. Now what happens whenever you buy a zipper, invisible zipper, it's got specific sizes. Okay, so now when you go in the market, this one is 20 centimeters and it's 8 inches. So when I have to go and buy a zipper for an outfit, you go like this. Okay, so you open up your zipper completely to measure, just you're sure. If in case you are confused, you can always take it in the market and ask Fabricland or, but suppose you're going to Walmart, salesperson over there, they don't know. So at least you should know how to do it. So you measure your whole zipper going from bottom to top. So this is actually the starting point. Now your zipper starts off with your measurements. Now suppose if it says 8 inches. So my 8 inches is not from the edge. 8 inches is from where my lock is, from where I grab it to open it up, and where my zipper ends. So it's got a lock over here. It stops. So my 8 inches is basically from here to here. So it's not from one end of the zipper to the other end. That doesn't matter at all, because this actually goes into your neckline or the bottom part, the skirt. It depends where you're putting it. But always remember, if your 8 inches is from here, not from top like that. So once you have found out that this is the zipper exactly I need, so how do you keep, now suppose I'm doing it for the first time with you people in the class. So let's do it. And you people have fabric with you, so that at least you can pin up and know, with the zipper. And even if you don't have a zipper, you can just cut a straight paper and just make a slit like that, a little harder paper, put a slit like that, so at least you'll know the zipper wrong side and the right side, how you'll be putting. And whoever has zipper, let's cut the fabric. Now my zipper is 8 inches. I want my fabric at least to be cut 10 or 11 inches. 11 inches. So this is my 8-inch. So I'll be going completely. So I'll go 12 inches. And for the width, I'm not going to waste my fabric. So I'm just going to go 4 and 4. So 8 inches. So now when I have a print, I'm trying to follow up, because whenever you're doing a zipper, I intentionally took a printed fabric, because last time with the solid fabric, we were having issues, to understand how exactly, which is the right side, wrong side. There was confusion. That's why I picked up a printed fabric. Whenever you're doing print, now when you close the zipper, the print has to match. If I will go crooked like that, my one side flowers are going the other way, that this is going other way, it doesn't look good. So just remember, whenever you are cutting a print, if it is not a floral kind spread out type, this one is spread out. Okay, it doesn't matter, like, because it's a paisley. Paisley is just spread out. The shape is called paisley. Okay, like a mango shape kind, it's called paisley. So this paisley shape can be anywhere, so no problem. But this one has got a specific flowers made. So you have to follow. So if you pick up these dots to do your straight line, you can do that. Or if you pick up a flower or something, but the whole thing has to go in continuity. You see these dots going, they all should go align in a straight line over here. So now, just like how I said, I'm planning to go 8-inch. So I'll be cutting it from the center. It can be a little bit more than 8-inch. Okay, so it's almost 10 inches. So it's almost 4.5. So I'm going to go with it. It's fine if it's broader. It's just that it shouldn't be too narrow, because you still have to sew your zipper. So at least it should be 3.5, 4. This is an invisible pen, which we use it as a marker on fabric. After 4 days, it disappears. A line can be made like that. So this one is so good when you have to go very precise. Okay, so most of the time in the industry, we use this invisible marker. It's always a purple color. I know you see blue color, but it's a purple color. And I'm going to use this. And just like how I said, my length, I decided to go 13 inches. So just to let you people know, I'm cutting it on fold, okay, because I measured it. So this thing is cut. So once if I have this done, I always like creasing my fabric in the center. I know a lot of people, what they do, they put the scissor inside and cut through. You can do it, but I don't like that idea, because if your blades are not sharp enough, it goes uneven. Okay, so we want the edge to look out nice. So now I've opened it up and now I can cut it. So now I have 2 pieces like that. I like putting my arrow over here, because generally what happens when you are using it, okay, now I cut this part together. So this is actually how the print is going to match. It's a good idea. You put your arrow like that. So even if your fabric gets twisted, turned over, okay, you might go upside down or something like that. It's a good idea to put arrows like that. So you'll know that these two are together. Okay, like suppose I go in the other room and then I don't want, it's the same measurement, but my print is not going to match. So when I'll sew it, you see, my print is not going to match. So always put a mark, the direction of how you had cut. Okay, so now this is my actual one. So now my print is matching. Once this is done, let's bring the zipper. You have to see, most of the time what happens, suppose my garment is starting from the top part. So my zipper is going to start off like this. I like doing it till the edge. Okay, and this mostly goes into the skirt band, or it goes into the facing, like how in the outfit I had shown, it goes into the neckline. It can go anywhere. So it's a good idea that when you start from the edge. Okay, now when I'm seeing the edge part, where is my zipper finishing? Okay, I've cut my fabric extra. Okay, so when I have cut, now basically my zipper is finishing at the lock section. Okay, this is my lock. Let's show the other way. So this, you can see that this is the lock part. So this is where my length of the zipper from this part to this part. So when I start sewing, just like how I said, from the edge, and I want my stitching from here. Okay, from here, because don't forget that this will be the opening of the zipper and this is the sewn part of your garment. So this part, where do I stop sewing? So you have to take your marker, and this is where my teeth, there's a lock system is there. I'm not thinking about this part. Right now I'm thinking about the lock part, okay, where it stops. So this is where my measurement is. So now I'll just put all of you just in your notes or something, write that this is actually where your teeth, the lock is going to finish. So once you have marked this, so this is basically your regular stitch, how you had done your, when you join two pieces. We are going to, I think so, work with 1/2 inch, not a 1/4 inch because of the zipper. It's a little bit broader. So now once this you have already marked, you can either pin it up over here. Pinning is not so necessary, but it's just that you're just putting it in case a fabric doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm just pinning it over here. So my zipper is going to come over here. Now, the next step that we have got to do, we have to now set our iron. Iron is very important, not for, not ironing, actually it's pressing, because pressing is when you are pressing something, flattening something, okay? Ironing is you're just taking out creases, but the pressing word is specifically used in garment industry when you are pressing something, you're pressing the pleat, you're pressing anything, you're flattening it, you're pressing the piping to flatten it. Okay, so that's where the term pressing is used. So for regular zipper, you don't have to press it at all. But when it is invisible zipper, just like how I showed you people, that it rolls over. So this is my right side, but my teeth have rolled over. So this rolling over has to be flattened first, because when you are using it with the presser foot, it tends to roll back. So if you little bit iron it, it allows you to, it becomes more flexible to you to tackle it. So, but when we are ironing, it's plastic. So we have to go to the lowest temperature. That's a synthetic, because this I really want to show the ironing part. First, before you start your iron, just remember always, what, set your temperature. Otherwise, I've seen people, they put the iron on and then they're setting the temperature. That's the wrong way to do it. So this is your synthetic, the lowest temperature. Okay, the synthetic. So we are just going to bring it to the lowest. You will have nylon or synthetic written. Okay, so whatever is your lowest, you bring it over there. And then you put your iron, because we don't want it to burn the plastic. And then you need to open up your zipper completely, open it up fully down. So when you have opened it, the teeth is not over here. Okay, the teeth are not seen on the right side. They're seen on the wrong side. So you have to open it, and then on the wrong side, you have to open it up. Okay, I know a lot of you people don't have an invisible zipper. Who have her as a formal outfit, once the class finish, have a look, I've explained, you will have some garment at home. So when you are doing like this, you need to open up your plastic outside. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just opening up, okay, and ironing it. So basically I'm flattening it. So I am going on the plastic section also. Generally we are not supposed to, but this iron is not too pointy. So I'm just going like that. This is the first thing I learned over here in the fashion school. Back home, we didn't have invisible zippers during that time, because when I was studying in 1980 to 83, we didn't have these invisible zippers during that time. But when I joined the college over here, this is what they said. Ironing is very important when you're using an invisible zipper. So my ironing is done. I'll just pull out the iron. Okay. Now I have pinned up over here. Now the zipper. Basically what we do, this is the right side of your garment. Now this is what you have to really watch with your zipper. Generally what happens, people start putting it like this. Okay, they just put it flat like this. No, that's not the way it is done. Okay, so when you have your zipper open, it goes like this is your right side of your fabric, and this is your zipper over here. So you have to put it like this. Let me pin it up so that it becomes more easier. Okay. So now you see what's happening over here. How did I put it? Let me take this thing out so that you don't have to worry about the spinning part. We'll do it later on. So now you see how I have pinned up my zipper is the face downwards. So what am I doing? For your notes, I want all of you to write the right side of the fabric and the right side of the zipper, but the left side. Now, suppose I am putting the other way. Okay, so now what is going to happen? When you sew, the zipper is going to go like this. So it becomes the right, and this side will come over here. So this is very important to understand because this is where we go wrong when we are putting the zipper. Generally, what happens, people, when I say right side facing right, they tend to put this one over here like this and leave the other section like that. But in this, it flips over once it gets sewn. This is where it goes confusing. A lot of people, when I say right side facing right, what will they do? They will put the zipper like this. And the teeth are going to come towards in the center. That's not the way it should be. Let me show with the regular zipper. This is the part, like it goes a little bit confusing, but once you start doing it, because this is what generally happens, okay? When we are sewing a zipper like this, okay? So when we are sewing this zipper is automatically over here, okay? The feet are on the other side. But over here, the teeth are on the other side like that. That's why I always tell people, don't sew. Just pin it up first and then see before you start sewing. Okay, like now suppose sewing is all experimenting. That's why having pins are very important. Never stitch, pin up, get an idea. Remember for the bias also, piping, I said pin it, make a mistake, learn it, but you'll immediately come to know that you did not do it right. Okay, pin up just roughly 3-4 pins, whatever you have, and we are going to flip it together so that you'll know where exactly it's what's happening. Okay, pinning up is needed right till where your lock stops, because you with the zipper foot you can't sew up outside this wherever the lock stops, wherever is the closing end, you can't sew on that. So you have to stop somewhere over here. That's why we don't sew exactly 8 inches. So if I said 8 inches, I'll be sewing 7.5 inches. My zip will become okay. Why? Because my stitching can't come much more down. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to sew till the end. And you'll flip it like this. Okay, when you'll flip it like this. Okay, so it's rolling over. But that's fine. So what we are going to do, we are going to first stitch like that. Okay, so let's start sewing. I want all of you to start sewing. Whatever you have, that's what I'm saying. I really don't know whoever has got what, but I already changed my zipper foot because this machine has got a weird kind of, it doesn't clip off, and all the machines have already returned back to the hub. I just have this one, the latest one, and this one, my changing of the presser foot is totally different. The teeth is on the right side, so your zipper foot would be on the right side. Okay, the right side should be the empty spot. Yeah, so put it on the right groove. Yeah, right groove. You can see that this is my right groove where I'll be sewing, and this is the right one. Okay, the left one is hollow. Okay, so what I want, because you don't have zipper foot, so I'm just going to do the demo for you people. So if you'll see, generally the zip edge, okay, that zip, the folded, it's actually it's got a different, very weird kind of a finishing at the end, but generally this fabric and this fabric matches. Okay, so if you wanted to go broader, you can do that, but it's not needed because the zipper is so much far off. Okay, so whenever we are starting the zipper, we generally need to hold it rolled over. See, it's not flat. I can open it. That's the way my sewing has to be. The more you open it, when you close it, you don't see the zipper teeth at all. So this is the main difference with your other zipper and this one. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to roll it open. And I'm going to start because my top part, it has got a plastic part, okay, for the invisible zipper. For regular zipper, there won't be any this plastic section on the top. So I'm just going to now start stitching. So I have to do my back stitch on the top. Just for the starting point, you can hold it with a pencil or something like that to help you, okay. Now I have started. Okay, so now once I have started this, I still have to reach my main point, but the actual part is where your zip is going to finish. So that is where your needle really has to be precise. So that's I have to reach that part. So I am going like that. So now when I have reached that part, now I have to keep on matching my edge of the zipper and keep on at the same time rolling out my teeth. Okay. And go as close as I can. See, it allows me to go close because I'm rolling it out. It's only when I'll take it out, I'll show you there's a little bit difference. You don't go exactly at the point. So I have to take my pin out. If in case like your pins trouble, because see they come, you can always go, horizontally with your pins, but then you don't have to move them much more. It stays much more better, especially for these kind of projects. So even if if you've got designer pins, your needle doesn't even get it, crosses over. But I don't want you people to risk, because it's only with designer pins it works out good. So now again, I'm rolling out the zipper. Okay. So what happens when I'm rolling out, it goes a little bit away from my salvage side, but that's fine. It won't take much of your fabric out. So for the zipper, that's what I'm saying. For invisible zipper, the teeth, they don't come under your needle, because the zipper foots are made like that. They stop it to travel over. So now I'm going to reach my bottom part. Okay. So when I'm reaching the bottom part, what happens? This one doesn't allow my presser foot. See, the presser foot will come and touch this. So whatever distance it stops, just stop over there. You do your back stitch, it locks it up. Okay. And then when we'll be doing in the end one last final seam, that is the time, whatever empty spot is left with the lock and all that, we will be overlapping with some kind of a sewing, which we'll see it in the end. So I keep on going down, just like how I said, I did not, it's a good idea, for these kind of a things. See, you're going a little bit away from your actual sewing. See, this is not edge, because the moment you roll out the fabric, it tends to travel. Okay, it gets pushed out, the zipper gets pushed out, but just still it's constant. Okay, see, it's still constant. So I'm about to reach the bottom. Okay, so wherever it'll allow me, I'll still roll out my the teeth out. Okay, and I've come over here, and that's it. It's not allowing me. So almost, I think so, it stopped me 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to do 1 or 2 backstitch, and that's it. So once you are done with this, you are going to take it out. Okay, so once you have done like that, so now what you need to do is you can check back. Now you'll see how close you have gone, how close it is. If I would have done in the other metal zipper, you would have still seen the fabric. Over here, you just see the teeth. See the beauty of it? The same zipper foot. But the main thing is, a lot of people, they don't know to roll it out. When you don't roll it out, what happens when you put the zipper on, you see so much of the fabric. And the reason is this: just roll out your invisible zipper, iron it, and just remember, synthetic only. Don't go into cotton and burn it. Okay. So then you see the beauty, like, see, when the zipper will be closed, so well, it'll cover your thing. Okay. So see, now I'm closing it. Now I closed it, and you don't see, this is where the seam is. Now let's open it and do the other part. So it's a good idea. You close it and you see, did you put it right? So now once this side is done, now you have to put the other side. Remember, you did right side for this. Now you have to go again right side for this too. Can you do on your own the right side for this section? Let's see, give it a try. Think that this is now your right side. The same thing, you'd have to match your right side with this right side. Try doing it on your own. So when you are having like this, so how do you match this thing? Okay, so you go, you want your right side. So leave your right side like this, and this is the right side of your zipper. This is turned over. Well, it looks like very weird, but it's right, because I closed it. Okay, you can fold this part. It goes less confusing. You can fold this part inside. The one that you sewn in, I've just folded my fabric inside, so it becomes less confusing for you people. Otherwise, it's twisted over here. So now for this one, I folded it to make it much more easier for you to understand. Now this is my right side, and I need my right side. So if you see, my right side is facing upwards towards me. Okay, when I close and open the zipper, it's facing upwards. That's not what I want, because this is my right side and the right side zipper. I don't want both of them facing me. Okay? I need the right side of the fabric and the right side of the zipper facing each other. So now how do you do it? So you have like this straight. Now I'll be flipping it. Flipping means, the easiest way to do is, you can just go with your fabric right side facing right. Remember, I always tell you, whenever you're doing a seam, put your right side facing right. So let's put our fabric right side facing right, facing each other, and it'll become much more simple. So when I go right side facing right of my fabric and I go right side facing right, my zipper will automatically come as it was for the first time over there. Remember, on the other side, you had the same thing. So now my right side of the fabric facing the right side. So my zip will face, okay, see it's downward. So zipper is facing right side facing right. And the best way to know is my teeth have to be away from the edge. And still, I'm not too sure. I'm going to pin up and check it back again. So all of you, if you're getting confused, pin it. And you can always go back and restart. So I'm pinning it to show it. Did it work out? Because this is very important. The zipper right side and the fabric right side. If you understand this concept, you won't go wrong. Pin up, make it a habit. You know, we are in no rush. We want to learn it the right way. We don't want to get confused. Okay, you can see my right side facing right of the fabric. And now I have pinned up. Let's go to I'm going to open it and check back with my zipper. So this is my folded part. I don't want to take it outside because it goes more confusing. I'm just going, this is good part. So now when I have done like this, see, it's twisted. It's twisted. You see it as twisted, but when you close the zipper, it's not twisted. So once I have done like that, let me pull the zipper out. So my zipper closed good. My opening lock is here. See my lock system over here, the pull-up thing. So everything is good. So it means whatever I pinned up, it is nice. So I want all of you to reach this step. I know you see the zipper so much because we haven't yet sewn and we just pinned up. Because this side is so good, it's really finished well. Even with this regular zipper foot, you don't have to go with the fancier one. So I'm going to sew exactly what I did for the other section. Remember to open up as you are doing it. And I changed my zipper foot, okay? Zipper foot, you always have to see, you get confused whether you want to do left or right. Put it, try it. If it's coming on the zipper and not on the fabric, it means you put it wrong. Flip the other side and then you'll understand the zipper foots. Otherwise, zipper foots are also confusing, okay? That whether you left or right, like remember Vijaya said, I have to put right and all. Suppose I'm sewing the other side, okay? I'm sewing from bottom going upward. Then my zipper foot direction will be different. So this you'll learn with practice. You don't have to get panicky. I was also a beginner. I always keep on telling I learn from my mistakes, okay? So if you make a mistake, that's a waste. So now you can see my teeth are on this side. Earlier, it was on the other side when I was doing the other side. Okay, but I flipped my zipper foot. So from this, always remember wherever your teeth is, that side has to be open side. And why you have the zipper foot on the other side? Because it holds your fabric flat. That's the reason why we have zipper foots, because it allows the teeth, the thicker part, to sew. And at the same time, this part holds the fabric so it doesn't go out like, okay, you're stitching. So now you have reached over here. Now again, I'm going to take my needle, the pin out. And just like how I said that 3/4 of an inch, I can sew it anywhere, but let's go straight as much as we can. Roll out, because if it is like this, luckily, see, the ironing made so much of a difference. It flattened my teeth so well. Whenever you're starting your stitching, remember I told you go back stitch. I'm not doing it because of my machine. It creates issue. So whenever you are starting anything, don't worry. Even if your back stitch is not there or you've done your stitch very small, this generally goes into the neckline. But mostly what happens when it starts ripping over, you're not a good sewer, 10 times you'll take the seam out. That's why you need to have a back stitch. So now I'm starting over here. Now my flattening is over here. So I'm going to match and start sewing. Now, see what has happened. It stopped me from sewing because I have that teeth lock, where it finishes, my zipper finishes. That is, I've got a plastic mount. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to lift my presser foot out, leave my needle inside. Okay, leave my needle inside, go like this. And I'm just going to go and make a single stitch. Now, what is happening? It's not allowing me because my thread is getting pulled. So what I can do, I can pull my fabric out a little bit like that, and at a distance I can start sewing. Now it's good. So all these things, you might get hurdles. See, in the other side I didn't have that issue, but in this side it was the plastic mount. The lock part was much more stronger, so it did not allow me to sew. But now I can continue sewing. So now what has happened, because of that mount, my sewing has gone a little bit away from the teeth, but that's okay. I'll do my 1 or 2 stitch and I'm going to again come back near to my plastic teeth. So now it's going to allow me to sew next to it. Sewing zippers is the most complicated thing. That's why getting alteration done from the market is expensive, because of this reason. It is not so easy to put zippers. So once now I've reached over here, remember the lock over here, I told you that wherever it allows me, I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a back stitch. Before you pull up your zipper, just trim off your threads, because generally the threads tend to come in between and may not allow you to close your zipper. So open up like that. Okay. And now try closing your zipper. Remember, you put a mark over here that wherever you want the zipper, the length is happening. But what actually has happened, you could only sew till here. If you'll see on both the sides, where exactly you finished your sewing, you just mark it. Okay, Vijaya, you marked it wherever. Everybody watch this step, and just like how I said, mine rolled over 2 times. That's why the stitching, the zipper is getting locked, but that we are going to take it out and I'm going to repeat. Sometime you can do your that much sewing and this part you leave it open to be finished it, but I like doing it all together. So it saves the time of sewing 2 times. But if you have got a garment, then it's a good idea. You stop 2 inches, you do it, your regular stitching with regular foot. But with the zipper foot, it's a sample. So I'm just going to do with the zipper foot. Zipper foot doesn't allow you to see the line of 1/2 inch good. That's why they say do the zipper 2 inches later on, but it's for the sample we're going to do. So what I want you to do, Vijaya, what you're going to match it together, pin it up over here. And wherever your line is over here, we are going to do, if you'll see, this is 1/2 inch. Okay, this is 1/2 inch happening over here. When you sew your zipper, it's 1/2 inch. So you need to start off your 1/2 inch from here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to sew, I'll just pin it and show it. So you are going to sew 1/2 inch. Okay. So how you're going to sew, first just mark your 1/2 inch over here completely. Okay. I want you to do 1/2 inch. And whenever you are sewing this part, close your zipper so that the fabric doesn't move. And you have your lines marked up over here. And whenever you have this part where the locking is happening, I need to go 1 inch above. Put a new mark for 1 inch above. So this is my finish that line, but I'm still going to put a mark for 1 inch. This we generally do because when the zipper gets closed, we don't want the zipper to keep out coming out from the seam. Okay, so we sort of have to block that. So in blocking that, what we are going to do, we are going to start back stitch over here. Sew on that 1/2 inch line, keep on coming a 1 inch. Just like how I said, this part, you can measure it and see if it's 1/2 inch or 3/8 or 5/8, it depends on everybody's sewing and the width of the zipper edge. So for me, it's coming 1/2 inch. So I've done 1/2 inch over here. Now, if you'll see my both the side stitching, wherever you use the minimum actually, you stop and you take that as that. So what basically I like doing, I make a slit. So slit tells me that this is where I had stopped, okay? But when you're slitting, just be careful. Don't slit your zipper. Don't go completely till the sewing line. Just put a slit, okay, like this single. Don't cut the zipper, okay? Otherwise, you'll damage it. And over here, I have a slit going like that. Okay? I'm just cutting a little bit away from my stitching. So I have my slit. So that becomes like my guideline, okay? So I know I have to finish my stitching over there. So now I have my 1/2 inch line done over here. So now I'm going to start from bottom downwards. Okay, I'm going to come up. So if you'll see where I need my presser foot to put the weight is over here. So this side, because my zipper is going to come over here. So I'm going to push the zipper out. So all of you go on your wrong side and see this is where my zipper is. Okay, so if everyone is with me, because that's what I did my last stitching. So we are going to start from the bottom. And our zipper, we are going to move it towards left. It's not going to come in flat like that. We'll be holding our zipper on one side, folding it like this. That's what I want all of you to be. So start your sewing from the bottom. Have the fabric exactly like me, how I placed it. So then go along with me. 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/8, whatever. Don't worry about the width of the thing. Just draw a line like that, but follow the step with me. So now when I'm doing like this, I'm going to start and matching it. Okay, I'm going to do my back stitch. My back stitch done. I'm going to move further on now. Now I'm going to sew on that 1/2 inch line. keep on sewing. Then we switched the presser foot, but then again for this portion we need the zipper foot. So it's a sample. I'm not doing it, but otherwise it's a good idea. You use your regular foot, do your whole garment from bottom, come till down, leave that 2-inch space, switch to your zipper foot and finish this. Because for this part you need a zipper foot, otherwise you can't do it. It was just sewn till here, not till the end because of the lock. So I am going to come where remember the slit part is here. I'm going to reach till here. So just keep on doing, sewing it. You reach that slit part. Now what will happen? Now my machine won't allow me to sew exactly on that same line because of that zipper teeth. So I'm not going to get worried. Wherever it will allow me, I'm just going to glide a little bit. Glide means 1/8, less than 1/4 inch. It will allow me to do because it's a zipper foot. So when I'm reaching over here, so see my zipper, what I'm going to do now, this is the thing you have to see. You're going to fold your zipper. Don't pull your zipper like that. It's not going to work. You have to fold your zipper face to face and just pull it towards the side to finish off this stitching so that it doesn't come in between. Okay, so I'm just holding and folding and pulling my zipper on this side. And when I'll just let you see, this is where my mark is. Remember, all my stitching from the top, it finished on this mark. That's why I have my slit over here. It's under my hand. Okay, the slit part. So now over here, I have to cross that 1-inch line. Remember, I told you this is my slit part where the zipper had ended, both the stitching, but I still have to travel upwards 1 inch, overlapping. So now I'm going. Now the zipper has started coming in between. Okay, so now it won't allow me to go too close to that actual stitching. So I'm just going to go a little bit on the side. So if you people are scared of doing it, you can always go manually. Just move your thing and keep on stitching. And see, for me, it works so close. I'm going to show it to you people, back stitch, and that's it. I could have gone more closer, but I didn't risk it. I started from here. I drew my 1/2 inch line. And then this is where, remember, I told you to make a slit. This shows that both my stitching from the top for the zipper finished over here. It's my guideline. And then I still travel 1 inch more in my sewing next to my zipper. Okay, so if you'll see it closely, it's almost 1/8 of a stitching difference. Now you see how much I have crossed over. This is coming from down my line. I went so close to my zipper, and now what has happened? I have done 1 inch extra stitching and I stopped. So when I open my zipper is not going to have a hole over here because I oversewed. And when I oversewed, I brought this part and I pulled it so that when I'm sewing, I could sew it really close to the zipper. If I don't pull this on the side, then I'll be 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. I want the stitching to really go close. So when you're opening the zipper, no hole is seen. Okay, so now let's go on the right side to really understand that how the whole thing worked. So my zipper is over here. That's my starting point. I'm just going to trim off threads because when you have too many threads and the invisible zipper tends to break. So now I'm opening up the zipper. Okay, I'm opening up completely down. Now it's not allowing me more. Why? Because I have, see, this is my slit part and my zipper is opening 1 inch higher because I intentionally brought and locked it up so that my zipper won't break till the end. So see, now my zipper is over here and that's now my seam. Seam is my garment is finished. It's exactly like for the dress we had over here, the one I showed in the beginning. So this is the bottom of my outfit and this is where my zipper is finishing. Okay, so when your zipper is finishing, your seam and this should look like flat. There shouldn't be any puckering. If you're doing puckering, it means you did not lock that bottom stitch that you were coming along. So you see, now see my zipper? When I'm closing the zipper, when I'll iron it, do you see where my seam is looking like a single thing? Of course, ironing is needed. So when I'm ironing it like this, okay, so this is where my seam is going and this is where my zipper is going. It should look like a straight line and no puckering over here, nothing like this at all, no gaping, because I did the 1 inch overlap difference with your regular zipper and this zipper. So you see, like now I can open it up and it's good. And it's not locking, not opening up, no holes over here, nothing.